Hello and welcome. My name's Trish. It's prediction time again. So it's the October predictions that I'm up to for this month. Now, the cards were on fire last month over the whole month of September, both the prediction cards and the true crime cards with the different things that they were saying. So one of them was the note left by the presumed assassination attempt on Trump. The cards fell out and said note left behind. So, and there was a note left behind. Like, who leaves notes these days? But the cards said it was going to happen. So the other thing that was on the Trump, when I was reading on the Trump side of that, because I did it as a double kind of reading, one was on the person that's been arrested and one was on Trump. Well, on the Trump, it said what's coming up in the future for him was cyclones around him. Now, I said that there's going to be either a cyclone in his area. I was reading on the presumed assassination attempt in Florida, and the card said there's going to be a cyclone, and a cyclone came out, and I said there's either going to be a cyclone in his area, which I was reading on Florida, or I said there's cyclones wherever he goes. So the cards, again, like, just amazing what those cards do. So the predictions last month with September, the first thing that happened on the 1st of September, no, I read 26th of August, I did the predictions. Today is the 30th of, so I'm a little bit later today, the 30th of September, I'm doing the October readings, but last month it was the 26th of August and I did the September readings. So I said something about the spreading and mutating of the protests, so the people and the protests getting bigger and spreading. And then on the 1st of September, I even said that there could be something that could trigger it, causing protests in other countries, because currently in August there was protests in England, but I was getting that it was protests spreading around to other countries, but there could have been a trigger reason for that, and that could have even been related to weapons in some way, because the weapon card was sitting there as well. Now, what happened on the 1st of September was there was the tunnel where they took the hostages through, trying to get some of the hostages out, and they were found deceased. So that there caused a big uproar. It caused a big a major protest, and that was on the 1st of September, so opening for September. Now, the energy around September was quite intense, quite harsh. I even had people in my comments saying, oh, this is just too, I can't watch this, it's too intense. They couldn't watch it, but the thing is, most of it happened. Most of those September predictions happened. So there was something around, so there was a protest, but then in Australia, somewhere in the middle of Australia, middle of the month, we had big protests in Australia over the weapons. It was anti-war protests. They did turn into kind of Middle East protests, but it was the intention was to be anti-war protests, because we had a big expo about war equipment, and the cards was saying the trigger could be related to weapons, and it was a weapons expo, and then there was major protests around it. So that all happened as well. So lots of things did happen in September. There was lots of information about what I've been saying about surveillance. It's been coming up in my cards now for a while. Something now it's mostly been coming up when I do the political reading. Now, here's the thing with this. I've been doing political readings, and it's been coming up with some kind of security surveillance scandals coming out. So, and then of course we had P. Diddy get arrested, and now we're starting, right through September, we're starting to see leaks of different footages of the scandals that was going on. But it's all about footage. It was surveillance, it was cameras, it was things that were recorded, being released into mainstream news, being released into the news or the media. So this has all happened right through September, just what, like, the cards had said. The cards had predicted it right through, like, it been coming up in August predictions, saying it was somehow connected to politicians as well. Like the political readings, I was getting those same cards that was coming out around scandals and recording. So maybe there are politicians caught up in this, whether it's the Diddy scandal or whether it's another scandal. There's I think that's what the cards are talking about. There's a connection here with recording, things that's been recorded, or not just recorded. Because here's what I'm picking up now. It could be was that Kamala was a lawyer back in California, like many years ago, around the time when a lot of complaints would have been going in around Diddy. So maybe there's a connection there. Maybe some of those things did pass through her hands. Maybe she was connected in some way, in that way. Maybe she wasn't in any videos, but maybe she saw videos. Maybe she saw footage from or testimonies from people that were the prosecution, and who knows whatever happened to those cases. So maybe there's like a connection there. That's because there seems to be some kind of connection between the scandal around footage or surveillance that's coming up in all political readings, particularly when I'm reading the Democrat Party, against what came up in the September readings around this is going to be released in mainstream, and it was. We're starting to see the different footages of the different things that have been happening. So the extreme energy is the next thing. I did feel that there was very extreme energy around, and I said I feel it with natural disasters. I said it's either going to be something that's bigger than normal or more often. I did say it was more likely to be like towards from the middle of September through into early October, and then we have the Florida cyclone again. So that Florida cyclone came up in two different readings. It came up in a Trump reading that I did last month in September, and it has also come up in the predictions reading when I did the natural disasters section. I said it could be somehow related to water as well. I felt that connection given Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. I felt there could be a water connection, and we did have that storm surge. They were saying they were expecting like an unusually high storm surge coming in. So whether, I don't know what the figures actually got to, but that was unusually higher than normal. So that's what the science predicted, that the storm surge was going to be bigger than normal. And I did say in those predictions that I felt the natural disasters, I wasn't calling them natural disasters because when I'm reading, I have no brain power, so I can't get words out. So I was calling them earth events, but they're natural disasters. So and the natural disaster was cyclone, and it was water related because of the storm surge, and that was unusually higher than normal. So, and that's what it was predicted as. And the cards were saying that, or I actually said in the summary of the prediction, was that they're not going to be earth-changing events. They're not going to be world-ending events. They're just going to be normal Earth events, but they'll either be more regular or bigger than normal. So I feel that's the cyclone. So I think that one there happened as well. So yeah, there was quite a lot of things. Most of them I think that happened that I predicted in the September readings actually happened. And then there were some other ones that came up in some of the other readings that the card, when I read these prediction cards. So I was reading the prediction cards in the political readings, and they were saying what's next for Trump. Yeah, it was a cyclone around him or in his area. So yeah, very, very interesting. But I'm going to get into the October. I'm going to go in, get grounded, and I'm going to get into the October readings. I'm going to put all of that September energy aside because it was very intense, and I'm going to see what October brings. I want to just say this military card here, it just reminded me of another prediction that came up in one of those readings last month. I can't remember which one. I think it might have been the Trump cards, the Trump reading that I did in September. I said a lot of people, and something around military, and I said, does it sound like martial law to you? Does it sound like maybe something's going to happen that's going to bring martial law or cause martial law, the military to get involved? It's just we've got another military card. But then I thought, I thought about it once I've done the reading when I'm in a more logical headspace, and I thought maybe there is something going on with the military around Trump. So like a lot of military, that could just be military moving in to help Trump in that, because it was definitely the Trump reading that I'd done it on, but it was like military. So either something around the military and the people uprising and the military coming in to sort the problem out, or maybe the military is coming in around Trump. So military, but we've got military again, and that's what made me think of that. I did ask if there was any more, and I just got the no, like I got the no card, so I had to stop pulling cards then. Now, getting into these cards here, we're starting on this section over here. We have got, I'm just going to read the cards out and let you know what they mean, and then bring up any insights or anything else that I'm pulling through here. Okay, we've got also the compromised or harmful situation. This is a card that sits in with my spreading mutating card, so it's about something spreading, but here it's saying something is harmful, a very harmful situation that needs to act now. I feel it's the tension escalating in the Middle East. That is a very, very urgent situation, and it's a very harmful situation to the world. So this, we need to act now. It's very urgent that we need to act now. We need to try and downgrade that in some way, downgrade that level of urgency in that situation. That's where I'm feeling this energy here is related to. Could this be related to anything else? It says compromised or harmful situation where you need to act now. It's an urgent situation. You need to act now. This is coming up in October. Situation that's escalating needs to be downgraded, or a downgraded situation will then escalate. So that's those cards reading in anyway. So my interpretation of that would be, now please remember, it's always the cards. The cards was accurate here, the message from the cards. So my interpretation is sometimes when I bring in messages, that's very important because that comes from spirit. But here I'm feeling it could be like Middle East tension rather than political tension. It feels more world events, something that's very harmful to the world that we need to act urgently on. Now, the disclosure card has come up here, disclosure. I felt that's related to okay, a couple of things are going on disclosure. When I did the predictions back in December, I said there would be something that would be, there may be disclosure. It came up then as well. There may be something, but I said you'd have to dig for it because it's, something that's not going to be in the mainstream news. But again, we've got another disclosure or a sightings. Maybe more people are going to be seeing sightings in the sky. Again, because we're talking planes, we're talking military, we're talking in the sky. Maybe it's military planes and people are thinking that it's UFOs. So maybe there's going to be a lot more activity with the military, or like planes in the sky, and people are going to just assume that it's sightings. Maybe it is actually sightings. Maybe the military gets involved in that. So maybe the military are sent out for some reason, something related to sightings or disclosures. Could even be related to the moon. The moon, as of today, we have the mini moon that's come into our orbit, and that will be here for the next couple of months. So maybe we're going to get a bit more of disclosure around what that could possibly be. Maybe somehow that's connected to the military. I just find this military card is in such a strange position. It's almost feels like it's standing alone. I've sat it in here with the other cards, but I'm like, when I like to read my cards as a story, so they tell a story. So this story is, so you can see very clearly. Over here, I'm just not kind of seeing where the military is involved here. I may need to pull another card for the military to see where it's involved. Is it involved in the sightings or disclosures? Is it just out for me to tell you what I thought about the Trump reading with the military? But it's here for a reason. And then over here we've got flooding and heavy rains. So this I would say is a further carry on from the Florida. Could be any other places as well. There could be damaging rains, flooding rains, storm surges related to natural disasters. But yeah, saying floods and rains. And then we've also got fire and heat waves. So maybe on the other side of the world, there's going to be like fires or heat waves, because it's, again, fire and water. Now, in one of the other prediction readings I did, it said fire and water. So again, What are you trying to tell me here? Let me just pull again there from that one, because it's the second time in second month that these two cards have come out together. Fire and water come out together. That could just be that in half the world there's rain and heavy flooding, storm surging. The other half it's related to fire type stuff. Fire energy. Okay, this says cyber attack. Not related to fire and water. Okay, what are you trying to tell me here with floods and heat waves? Okay, we've got more over in this section over here. These two belong in this section. Cyber attacks could just be unrelated, separate incident over October, some kind of cyber attack or some kind of system shutdown or something where data hack, power outage, some kind of where it goes down because of you can't get control of cyber. I don't know how big that's going to be. So I'm feeling maybe these are separate, they're not together. So in parts of the world there's storm surges and water, other parts there's fire issues and heat waves. So fire energy can also be volcanoes as well. I'm not feeling so much volcanoes, but I'm feeling more fire wave. It's not heating up because it's not, if this one was over here, I would say the situation's heating up. I'm feeling it's more related to weather over here because we're in a weather section over on this side. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. This one's the interesting one over here. We've got the security cameras. We've got people in damage control. This is damage done. So people are in damage control around the security footage. Okay, couple of things. Security could mean security, Trump security team. Security. Damage has been done. We'll see that in the mainstream news. And then assistance, so getting more assistance and more help around surveillance or security. Sorry, security is the word. Now, but cameras can also mean footage being recorded. In the mainstream news, people are in damage control over the damage, seeking help or assistance for that, pairing up like alibis or pairing up, getting their story straight together, or getting help or giving help. This is, I think, the turning evidence card here, but surveillance records. So who's been recorded, who's been surveilled. This card's been coming out for months, this one here. Okay, so the one that I wanted to check on is, what does a military plane mean? I'm just going to pull some of these to the side. I feel like I've already read that one there. This one here is the stuff that's going on at the moment. This is related to disclosure around either the moon or the James Hubble telescope. I'm going to do a reading on both of those separately, but here they're both out in today's prediction card, so maybe in October we'll get more information on that. I am going to do a reading on both of those subjects. This one here, this is weather. This is to do with weather being extreme in different areas. I'm going to just pull one on this one here, just so I can see what are you trying to tell me with the military action card. We're talking about aircraft. That's what they're trying to tell me. So here they're talking aircraft because they're saying commercial airline now. So, and they're saying disclosure around aircraft of some sort, whether that's military, whether that's commercial, whether that's disclosure, UAPs. Anything else around that? We've got another darkage or like an outage or darkness card, and that goes with the card I said of the cyber attack, where I said it will go down or will not be able to get access to information or something goes down. So cyber attack, darkage or outage. Okay, I was going to say what causes the darkage or outage. I might just put that cyber attack back in. What causes the darkness or outage? changes, planned outcome. Social media goes down, an attack on social media, a planned outcome, or changes that, oh, sorry, you can't even see those. Let's bring them back up here. I said what causes the darkage or the outage, and what are we talking about? I did put my cyber attack back in case that's wanted to come out. So what is the darkness or outage? This is a explosive situation or an attack. Here it's on social media. Here it is a planned outcome to bring in changes. They want to bring in certain changes, so then they have to create a problem, or it could be like a security problem, because we've got plenty of security cards down here. We've got cyber attack, we've got outages. So they're bringing in, they want to bring something in, but to get more control, they have to have something happen in order for that to go ahead. So that's what I feel like that is. Okay, anything else that you want to tell me? Let's pack some of these cards up. In this one here, I've got something around royal. 2 royal cards fell out, so either keeping something quiet, so they're keeping it quiet, or it's connected to the royal family. Heavy burdens around the royal family, and a society collapse, perhaps even related to family, the royal family in some way. Do have a drone strike card on the table, but I mean that's already happening, I'm pretty sure. To ask is just because I wanted to keep the predictions this month separate to the political predictions. So I said to my spirit team, I said, don't give me any political predictions in the predictions reading. I wanted to keep them separate. So now let's pull on predictions for the political energy. Let's have a look at US election political energy. Any predictions for October, please? Keep this very brief. What's happening here is that it says first card was yes, positive outcome. Military getting involved in some way around political events, or the military gets political in some way. So it gets involved in political issues, or certain issues that require the military become political in some way. This is the cyclone damage, could be related to Florida. Then we've got they'll exchange or replace. Again, I keep seeing it all the time, exchange or replacement going on here. Political reading. Trains or transport can be related, it is related to people transport. This could be people coming in from beyond the borders for voting purposes, or traffic and people. So trains, lots of people. It could even be getting people to vote by transporting them to vote. So it's the transport of people related to political issues. All for money, and a planned outcome for money. Maybe the all for money is these people here get paid. Maybe the people or the transport of some way, there's money involved there. But there's a planned outcome there, and there's something to be exchanged or replaced. A corrupt dealings will be disclosed. Some kind of corruption will be disclosed in the month of October. Up here in the military, I feel it's either military support for Trump around his security, or I feel it is military action worldwide scale, more military presence needed, or more people needed in the military around the world. We've got worldwide events, so it says worldwide. Whatever's happening here with military affects the world in some way. Now, because I said this is political, I'm not 100% sure of this. Let me try and bring this energy in. Okay, it's a worldwide event. What happens in the US presidential election does affect the rest of the world. It could be whether we get a war or not. Whoever gets in American politics could indicate whether or not the whole world goes to war. So I know Australia followed America into every war, so I feel that's what this is trying to say. It does matter. It does matter because it's based on whether the world goes to war or not. Now, I don't have a World War III card in this deck, but these two cards together, got to say positive outcome, saying or yes, might be saying yes, military action around the world. Even though I said it's political reading, it could be related to, it depends on who gets in, whether or not there'll be military action around the world. But disclosure of corrupt dealings. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because that's a lot. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And also in the corner over here, it just said somebody being manipulated or coerced. People perhaps being coerced or manipulated. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Trish. Thank you for watching.